Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody out there in the social media world? It's your boy, Prof. Bowley, coming at you guys. Welcome to the very first episode of The Lion's Den. Check this out right here. Watch this.
I like that.
And today, my special guest, my very first guest on here is a music artist that I have known for a couple years now. And this is my boy, Young Praise. Dude, what's going on with you?
Yeah, man, I was just excited to be here, man. Excited to be a part of the cast in the Lion's Den. I like that little roaring sound, man. Make me feel like I'm ready. I feel like Daniel right now, man. Real talk, but I'm lit, man. I'm here, man.
Good. So we got it started off right here. He said, man, I was like, man, what kind of drink you like? He said, man, I want me some Red Bull. Yeah, so we got him started off with that tropical flavor going on there. So, but anyways, man, so I know you. However, there's a whole internet world out there that do not know you. So tell us who Young Praise is and tell us your story, man. What you got?
Man, well, first off, Young Praise is Daria Honorary. That's my real name. It's kind of weird. But I've been told that all my life, man, you got a cute name. I be like, man, I can't stand my name, man. But I like it, though. No offense to my daddy. I'm a junior. And my son, he gotta deal with it, too, now. He a second. I mean, a third. He's a third now.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, man, Young Praise, man. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Out the streets, out of South Memphis, born and raised in Riverside, DHG area. Throughout my life, I've been all over Memphis, just about in every hood, from Whitehaven to Ridge Grove, North Memphis, West Memphis. I done stayed just about in every hood in Memphis.
Right.
I know a lot of people, man. I was known for a lot of criminal activities I did, as far as with like robbing and burglarizing and selling drugs and a whole 9 yards. A little player. I had the latest. No offense to my wife now. But yeah, I was that guy, man. I was that dude, skipping school, doing a whole lot of things, man, in the streets, involved in gangs. But, God changed my life, man. Actually, I was invited to church by this poet out of Memphis, man. He was a best friend of mine's named Cashmere, Larry Cashmere, man. He invited me to church one day, and I didn't know what it was that made me want to go, because I was a kind of stuck-up person, but he made me laugh. And after he made me laugh, I guess that was his real to like, hey, man, you want to come to church? And he was at a church like 2-3 houses down from mine, and that wasn't even his church. His church was visiting that church. And he knew my sister. That's how he started the conversation. I was on the porch, and he invited me down there. I went. I ain't hear nothing the pastor was talking about. I can't even tell you the message. I ain't finna sit here and lie like I knew what was going on. But I didn't. All I knew was this fine girl sitting in front of me.
Oh, snap.
And I was looking at her until her dude sat beside her.
Oh.
And then, yeah.
Man.
But long story short, we ended up dating.
Oh,
yeah, they didn't work out, and we ended up, but of course, it ain't worked out today because she ain't my wife. So,
all right.
Yeah, it was all good, man. But when I left, it was something about that place that made me feel like I needed to keep going. It was something there for me.
Right.
And ever since that day, I asked my sister who was that dude, and she told me who he was. I linked up with him and started going to church with him. I was still, selling dope, still burglarizing, doing things I had no business, trying to survive. But for some reason, everything I do, I got caught and went to prison. From that point, like everything.
You just weren't a very good criminal, were you?
Before then I was skating. Like I was good. Like I was skating, bro. Before then, like I thought life was easy peasy. Like all you got to do is just be smooth. You ain't got to go to jail. Like how is these folk getting locked up? But I started getting locked up. Like everything I do from that point, man, until this last particular time. Not to mention I've been on probation since I was 17 years old. And like 3 years ago, I can finally say I'm off probation. I'm 31 years old now.
All right.
So
still young, whole life ahead of you.
Still fresh,
there
with a snapper, infamil.
You're still in your prime. You haven't missed anything.
And yeah, man, that last particular time, I normally bum myself out, get out, wait some months, get out. But the last particular time I tried to bum myself out, they had put the probation hold on me, and I couldn't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And ended up going to court. They gave me time. Had to do 5-year sentence. I ended up doing 2 years on that 5 sentence.
Okay.
But in that time, God set me down, and I was able to reevaluate my life. You know, I had children. I had a son on the way at the time. I already had a daughter. I had a son on the way at the time, and I got locked up when he was 3 months.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I missed all that beginning, that 1 and 2 stage of his life, man. But in that time, man, God allowed me to spend time with him. From the things I was listening to at church, when he touched my heart to keep going, from the things I was listening to at church, different situations, kind of gathered together in my mind and my spirit to bring upon this evaluation. And man, God just came into my life, man. And I remember one night I was on my bunk, and I got into it with this guy. On the bars. And it just went up. It went to a whole nother situation. I was telling somebody about my time, and he butted in the conversation with talking about that little time, man. Nobody want to hear that, man. This. So we got to arguing, and I just said, forget it. When the doors roll, what's up? I'll meet you in the morning when doors roll at breakfast. So that morning, it was Sunday morning. Sunday best came on, and I was on my bunk, and Take Me to the King just like grasped my mind while I was laying down on my bunk. When I opened my eyes, this song, Take Me to the King. And as Tamala Man began to sing that song, man, everything she said began to be life. I had my eyes closed, and everything she said began to be life as I was laying on the bunk. She was saying, take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. I'm standing at your throne, gazing at your glory. Like, I literally felt like I was that person doing it. And when the song was over, man, water, tears just rolled down the side of my face. And when I opened my eyes, I was actually a new man. I didn't know it at the moment, but I was a new man. That particular song, shout out to Tamala Man, that particular song changed my life, like for real. And I didn't want to hear negativity. I wasn't on the things I was on. I wasn't trying to find a way. I was looking for the way and didn't know it. And man, I got out of my cell, seen him, and he didn't even come out of his cell. He was still laying there playing, faking like he was laying down. So I went to his cell, man, and told him, put the violation up, and just told him I apologize. I put the violation up just in case he still wanted to rumble. So told him, man, look, man, I apologize, bro. We didn't hear it. We both locked up, and kind of went through that whole motion, man. And dude looked at me and was like, bro, that's real, bro. And got up, and he sat up and shook my hand, and he was like, bro, I forgive you too, bro. Let's do better. And from that day forward, I knew that God used me, that God wanted me to change lives and help people, man, and to be the answer to a lot of this mess going on. So from that day forward, man, I didn't want anything negative, so that's when music came into play. I used to love Lil Wayne, used to love a lot of popular tracks that was out there, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to hear those words no more. And something in me said, don't complain, change. So I started to take those words from the songs and rearrange them with positivity, with gospel songs, things about me striving to do better, things about me coming out of the old person I was. And I finally got as they would say, had the balls. I finally got, the audacity to take it to the prayer call that we had in prison, and brought it there, man. I used my testimony time to party. Everybody get a chance to tell everybody what they thank God for in the circle before whatever we do. And I used my thanks to bring a song. And when I brought that song, the whole atmosphere changed in a prison. Like, it's like the TV cut down on his own. And yeah, the officers was listening. The officers outside the pod was listening. Every inmate, even the inmates that was in the TV area that didn't come to prayer call, was listening. And when I finished, I got a mean round of applause in prison now. And so many people was encouraged, like, man, keep doing that, man. You cold with that word, man. That was nice, man. I like that, bro. Man, you got to keep doing that, bro. You going to help somebody, bro. That's real. I was just hearing a lot of that, man. It just motivated me, man. And here I am today. I took it to the Pentaform. And before I left the Pentaform, like, every soul in every dorm was coming to church call. And God was using me like that, man, to the point they even brought a famous comedian there. I forgot this gospel comedian name, but he's well known. They even brought him there to have an event so that I can be featured on the event while I was in prison. I even had my own church call. They gave me my own church call in prison where I did the service and brought the message. That's how much power he gave me in prison.
There you go.
I believe I made history, but it ain't even about that, man. It was just that God was using me in there, man. And here I am today. Same way when I got ready to get released, he said, the same way I use you in this world, I use you out there. And I've been doing it ever since. It ain't been easy, but God has shown me, what I'm saying, who I am. And that's Young Praise goes back to the question, man. My praise proceeds to victory. He created me to be a light. He created me to show his glory through my praise, through my gifts, through my talents. And I have a lot of them. That's from rapping, singing, dancing, choreography. I have a lot of different gifts when it comes to the arts of music. Sure. So that's who Young Praise is, man. I'm just a straight praiser, man. I just give God the glory and just, my praise is all about how much I thank God for who I am today. And I guess that's what releases in the atmosphere when I do perform and people feel the energy so strong. But they think I'm just performing and I got a dope performing, dope stage presence, dope artist, bro. You got dope sound, dope lyrics, but you just don't know, man. That ain't nothing but praise. All glory to God. I'm just thanking God for everything, for just the opportunity to be able to, be a blessing to somebody, man, because I could have still been doing what I was doing or worse.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Well, man, that is a really awesome story, actually. So it sounds like your life started in the prison.
Yeah.
Like you found purpose in that prison.
Young Praise started in prison. Actually, my name in prison was Preacher.
Oh, snap.
They would call me Preacher, and my nickname was Preach.
Okay.
What up, Preach?
So you started writing lyrics in prison, or just
I was writing lyrics in prison.
Okay.
I actually have over 100 and some songs that I wrote in prison because what God was
you
using
wrote
me
over
to
100 songs in prison.
Yeah, because what God was using me to do was like when I go to church call, like when you in jail, you have some people don't have nothing to do but to go and debate with a Christian or debate in the church. They ain't got nothing else to do. They gonna go to church call just so they can be a problem. So it was different people had different questions about like personal questions that people have on everyday life, like in the hood, like they really want to know about God. Be good questions, but God just really blessed me to go every time I have a question or it's a question that's presented, I take it up on myself to go back in my cell on my bunk and seek His word for an answer and make a song out of it. So those 100 and some songs that I have are answers to a lot of questions that people have. And I ain't even released, I think I only released like 2 or 3 of those songs.
Really?
On my Truth Rocks album. On the album.
Truth Rocks?
Truth Rocks.
Is it Truth or Truth?
TROOF.
Okay, Truth. Okay. I think I've seen that a couple places, man. You've been moving around a whole lot. And I saw somewhere that you posted that you're actually an ordained minister.
Absolute. Ordained apostle.
An ordained apostle.
Apostle, and my wife's an evangelist.
Okay. So what is I guess the question, because I come from a background of Christianity, right? I grew up in the church, and hilariously enough, some people thought that I would never have a life. What is the difference between an ordained minister and an ordained apostle?
Okay.
Is there a difference in that, or?
I wouldn't say it's a difference. Personally, I wouldn't say it's a difference. Actually, spirit-wise, according to the Spirit, I wouldn't say it's a difference because Christ died, and He's given all power unto man. So just because you ordained to be such and such, don't mean His power is limited to you. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? The same way a person can prophesy, He said He's given all power unto man. So the ordination don't necessarily mean that's what you only do. You know what I'm saying? You may have the ordination to prophesy or to be a prophet, but God may use you in evangelism. He may use you to heal somebody. He may use you, but that's all up on the Holy Spirit. See, man put the ordination in a way. Man limits people, but if we want to be real with this thing, Since we in the lion's den.
Yeah, there you go. Come on.
We in the lion's den, so I'm gonna be real with this thing. You ask me, I'm praying because I'm finna tell the truth tonight.
Let's go.
We're gonna shame the devil. We want to be real with this thing. The word of God says, I ordain apostles, priests, pastors, bishops, ministers. He ordains them. Man can't ordain you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go to school. Anybody can go to school. My daughter can go to school. When she get 18 or whatever, whenever she go to college, she can go to school to be ordained. Like, man can actually teach you enough to be ordained in this world. But do that truly mean that you're ordained by God? You know what I'm saying? That's real like that.
Kind of like having a preacher's license, but you're really not qualified.
Yeah, you're really not qualified, but you went to school to take care of the.
You gave them money, and they gave.
and that's how they work. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't just like me. Like I've been ordained to as an apostle, and my wife as an evangelist. Those things don't mean nothing to me. But the thing about it is, we are in this world. And sometimes you have to, the word of God says, be wise as a serpent, but humble as a dove. So we may have to play it that way sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's a great certificate to have, which means that gives me access to do certain things in this world without the stimulations or the friction. It makes it more easier for me to do some of the things that God has already told me to do anyway.
Right.
But it's just actually a confirmation because I didn't ask for it. It called me out of nowhere.
Right.
Out the blue, man. This person was all the way out of state.
Right.
And called me out of the blue. I gave this man my number like 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And he called me out of the blue. He didn't even know my wife at the time. He didn't. When I met him, I was by myself.
Yeah.
And he called me and told me, this how I knew it was confirmed. God was speaking through him. He said, you and your wife. And he don't be on social media. I can't say he followed me on social media, look me up, or none of that. He said, man, you and your wife, whoever God put in your life, man, that's your wife, man. Stick with her, man. God touched my spirit to wake up. It was early in the morning. That God touched my spirit. I woke up out of my sleep, and I had to find your number and call you. And he said, God told me to ordain you as apostle because there's some things you're finna go through, and you're gonna need this, brother.
So it's like it's like almost like a seal of confidence.
Yes,
you ever thought about this? Like, whenever I wake up in the morning, you know, like everybody has, I'm not gonna say everybody, but there are a few people that, like you and I, they wake up and they have their routine, right? They have their, mental, exercise that they go through, right? Like mine is that, and on that note of, stamp of approval, it's like, you woke up this morning, right? I woke up this morning. It's kind of like, because we both believe in Jesus, right? And it's not a popular name today. It's not popular to be Christian. It's not popular to be, Jesus name oriented, because religion right now has put a bad taste in people's mouths right now. And so, for me, it's like, okay, God woke me up. That's like God going, hey, I have confidence that you're able to go learn something and be wise today.
Absolutely.
Because people are like, show me, how is God really, because when they ask the celebrities, do you believe in God? And they give this really long answer. Short answer is no. Or they do and they just don't know who he is.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, I know that there's a God because I don't tell this heart to give me another day. When I'm asleep, I'm unconscious. Yeah. Like I don't say, hey, give me a Monday, give me a Tuesday, tomorrow, like I don't set the rhythm of it, the speed of it, nothing. So I'm like, I woke up, I go, well, obviously someone's got their confidence in me. So even if people don't have their confidence in me, like God's like, I'm going to use Young Praise through his ability to write lyrics and through his ability to give a positive message, because with many of the guys from the streets that I've met that, they used to sell drugs, like they didn't say that like I loved it or something. Like it was like I just wanted to survive. The story is survival. It's not like, I loved breaking the law or I loved being in jail, but it's just like I needed to do something to feed my kids. Yes. Like I needed to feed them somehow. I need to take care of myself. My bills got to be paid, and drugs have always, made a lot of money because, of the class of their illegalness, right?
Yes.
So But I think that's really powerful. I used to be involved in when we had bus ministry at our church before COVID hit, and it was so important. Like when you approach people and you want to tell them about the goodness of God, like, hey man, here's my story, here's where I'm from. Like you want to just get them involved. Like, man, this is where hope is over here. And for us, because you've got a story where you can really, really relate to people.
Yes.
You know, so for me, I had to go, okay, I don't come from this kind of a background. I come from a completely different background. One of, both parents in the house. We had money, we had abundance. I had need of nothing. I didn't, have to wonder, are we going to eat tonight, this morning, So I was like, how am I going to relate to these kids? They're coming to Sunday school. They've already been through school Monday through Friday, and who knows what they've been up to on Saturday, and just trying to survive, make it worth their while. And so I'm like, I've got at max like 4 hours maybe with these kids. And so I'm like, how do I relate to them? Like, okay, I'm just going to be the guy that's, I would buy candy, put it in bowls for them. Like, hey man, the best well-behaved person, the person that can tell me what they learned in Sunday school. Because for me, it's just like I want to reach you. I want to reach into your world, and I want to bring you up to the goodness of God. And I want to show you, because you're going to go out there and you're going to live, and you may run into somebody who doesn't represent Christ very well, or that has a twisted understanding, a twisted perspective of God. And there are Christians out there who are faster to damn you into hell than they are to win you to heaven, win you to God. It's like, oh, well, you're doing this, that's a sin. Like, you got to realize that if you are a Christian, like, unless this person is a church person, you got to approach them from a standpoint of, I am expecting you to be doing all this horrible stuff already, and I'm going to go, you're a prime candidate. Because it's never been the perfect people that have been called and equipped. It's always been the ones that's like, a lot of the ministers right now, especially in the Pentecostal movement, like they're from bus route ministries, they're from torn up homes. And so you have these people that are like, well, I'm not qualified to be saved because, I don't have everything together. These ministers that you're seeing, most of them, they didn't have anything to, they simply decided to start. And that's what you did. Sounds like in jail. You were like, hold up, I got a new perspective on my life and what I can do with this life. Here's the positive perspective, and I want you guys to see this light. And people were drawn to that. The Bible says to compel them.
With love and kindness.
You dropped your pride at the door because you could have scrapped. You could have been like, bro, hey, you and me outside right now. Let's go.
That was the move. I'm telling you, that was the move. Like, I believe I didn't even go to sleep that night. I don't even think I went to sleep fully that night because it was on my mind all night. I seen so many ways of how I wanted to do an XMan move on it. I literally had a whole lot of time to literally think about doing it in a fashionate way, and
like, how am I gonna look like the superhero?
Man, I was gonna get the chair. I was gonna do all kind of things.
And then God just intervenes.
I'm talking about just messed it all up. And then I was ready to rumble. I was ready to rumble simply because I ain't did it in so long at that point. So I'm ready to, I didn't have, God in my heart then, you know what I'm saying? So I was moving straight off my emotions. So I felt like that was my savior. That was my elevation moment to just
your
go
survival
ahead
instinct said, go with this. And God was like, hold on, let the Spirit lead you. So
yeah, that's true what you said, man, because as I was hearing you talk, man, it just brought up the word, I like to give people facts. But that's true. His word says by trying to obey the law, we treat the death of Christ as if it was nothing. And that's, that's basically him letting us know, us trying to do right, trying to fix ourselves and be perfect. We just basically saying what he did wasn't nothing. That's exactly what he's saying. By trying to obey the law, we treat the death of Christ if it was nothing. So by me trying to do right and trying to fix myself, I'm saying that his power ain't good enough alone. I'm saying that I can do it. If that was the case, then why would Jesus have to die? You know what I'm saying? Like the answer here, I can fix myself. I can get myself right. I can do right. I know the answer. I know what to do. That's basically what we saying. Like you don't, I know what to do. I know what to do with myself. I got it. And that's moving God out the way. He wants you to fall back and allow him to come in and make himself at home. Let him rearrange your house. Let him, you may have tables and you may have things all the way you shouldn't have it all up in there, man. But if you allow him to come in, he'll come in there, he'll groom that thing up, sit everything in place, put the pictures on the wall, hook it up, connect all the cable wires.
In other words, he'll do a better job than you
can.
can.
Have the surround sound boom in the right spots. That's what it's like giving your life to Christ, man. And I want to tell anybody, man, that's discouraged about giving their life to Christ, man. Don't let, what you see, distract you or discourage you. Don't let the suits fool you. Don't let the people driving all up, shouting, preaching all good, yelling because they know how to holy dance and you don't know nothing about that. Don't let that shake you. Don't let that move you. Man, God wants a personal relationship with you. He wants you just like you is. He wants you sitting right there on that couch, smoking that blunt, popping that bottle, they're white, what you sniffing, whatever you doing, he want to come and join you. And if you allow him just to come and join, I don't care where you at, what you doing, just say, Lord, I welcome you in. I welcome you in. And believe it. You got to believe it. That's the main thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have faith in everything around us. And the enemy is using the government through the churches to deteriorate the faith in the people, man. I hate to say this. I promise I hate to say this. But the church is the number one leading cause under music. I would actually put the church above the music, because we're dealing with the spiritual, we're dealing with people vulnerability, people that's looking to be for an answer, because when the music thing fail them and they show them who they is, they run straight to the church. And when they go to the church, what they hear, stop doing this. You got to stop doing it. God ain't pleased with you. God ain't, but that's not how we should be. That's not his word, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? If you ask the word of God, that's not his word. Because he said, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. Right. You know what I'm saying? He, like you said, compelled. They was compelled to Christ. You know what I'm saying? So we have to draw them with love and kindness. Somebody may just need you to go and sit with them while they going through something, while they struggling with something. They need somebody to hold their hand. They need a shoulder to lean on. They need when they weak and lame and can't and don't know their way, when they just all messed up, can't stop doing, they need somebody to lean on. And as a believer in Christ, knowing who he is, I know for a fact that we as believers should be their shoulder. We should be there to hold them. If everybody else turn their back on them and count them out, we should be there. We should be there. But it's the total opposite. You'll have more folks in the streets being there for these people than we do. Like Facts. For real Facts. Talk. I done seen people. I've been trapping for a long time, man, before I gave my life to Christ. And I've seen it. I've seen church folks come straight out of church and pull up at the doggone, but they supposed to be walking in the faith of God, but they operating in fear. They pull right on up to the gas station in the neighborhood, see these folks out here struggling, and pull off like, nah, like, you know what I'm saying? That's the gas station in your own. You got the power of God. You supposed to claim victory right there. When you walk in there, they should feel the glory of God. They should, hey, man, they should know you love them so much that they put up some of the stuff that they got. You know what I'm saying? He said, when you love conquers a multitude of sin, you can love somebody so much that, man, after a while, they'll want to respect you. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even want to do some of the things that they did, you know what I'm saying, around you when you come around, because your love just has so much power. Right. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they gotta respect you. Man, this person got my back. This person, Miss Emma always got my back. She always asked me if I need anything. She always look out for me. She always telling me something right. I know that woman love me. And if she tell you to stop cussing, watch your mouth. You gonna watch your mouth. And you ain't gonna give her no lip. simply because she's already expressed that love. She's drawn you with love and kindness.
Right.
Now she's able to, you know what I'm saying, correct you with love at the same time. You know, she's not making you feel less than, but she's correcting you with love.
Right.
So that's the main thing, man, as believing in. We're in a time now where we don't need nobody bad beating people upside the head, man. These people are in dire need of love right now because they looking for it in the wrong places, and it's failing them day by day by day.
Not for someone to give them the way, but to show them
the way. Be an example.
Right.
Be an example of what it means to love, man. So, and if we ain't loving them, we won't even be close enough to be an example because they going to fall back. If we point a finger at them, making them feel less than, don't nobody want to be around nobody that's making them feel like they ain't nobody. You know, that's just real.
You know that old saying where it's like, and it's an old saying because it is in the Bible, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So one thing that I've really tried hard at doing, and this is back when I first met you, you know, because I stepped out of my element of, you know, church and whatnot, and, you know, started to really hang out with people that came from the streets and, you know, were in the gospel and stuff like that. I was like, how would I like it if, you know, if I was to react in a ballistic is not really more of a hysterical way, like a negative kind of way to, if I was to do something bad, how would I want someone to treat me? You know, if I'm, you know, listening to bad music, if I'm, you know, watching porn, you know, something bad, you know, do I want someone to be like, oh man, like just like treat it as if like I've done the, you know, unforgivable, or do I want them to be like, you know what, it's all good, you're gonna get up from this, you're never gonna do it again, we're gonna get up and go forward? Like, how fast do I want forgiveness, mercy, and grace to flow? And so from there on, it's like if I want that, I need to give that, because like there's some people that, you know, I come up to and I'm like, my first thought is going, oh my goodness, like, oh, like I start kind of freaking out. But I'm like, wait a minute, if that was me, maybe if that was my kid, how would I want to be treated? How would I want someone to treat my kid?
Yes.
You know, what would be a priority to me? Like, if my kid's messing up, don't yell at him and make him feel horrible, but teach him, you know, be like, hey man, like we don't do that. Here's why. You haven't done wrong. You have done wrong, but maybe it's unintentional. You still loved, you know, I'm not mad at you, but here we go.
Yes.
And I think that's what, man, we could make a part 2 out of this, man, because I got so much more to go. But we're going to push on with this. So what role do you see yourself playing in the industry outside of being an artist?
Well, lately, honestly, man, I see myself as like a community pioneer. Okay. Like a community pioneer, man. Because I'm a hands-on type of person. You know, people see my business, they be like, when people like, especially out of town, that watch me over social media, over the internet, and they see me in person, they be like, oh, Young Praise Night, finally, nice to meet you. Mm-hmm. But I'm not, that ain't what I want. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like, you know, I like rather have a personal encounter, communication. So I always throw that out the air and be myself.
Right.
Instantly, they be like, "Oh man, you cool. I ain't know you were that cool, you know."
But you're not so high that they, you know.
I don't care how much money I get, because God is actually taking me and my family to a great place, man.
It's good.
Some major things, man, is finna happen. Dr. Phil, Lecrae, a lot of things is happening.
Good.
But I don't care how high I go, man. I still want to be relatable, man. I don't want to, and I just pray, ask God all the time, keep me humble, because I know how money can get. I know how things can get when you get in a different realm, a different environment, different level in life. You know, I've seen the best of them, you know what I'm saying, begin to be, you know what they stuck up. You know, they allowed the industry, and they got they got a lot of pride set in, you know, and let me jump
in right there, because these are a couple of questions that I was thinking about today preparing for this. Is because I had seen that you were advertising that you had signed a label with Sony. I was wondering if you could elaborate on that deal.
Yeah, the one with Sony, actually, that happened. I actually cut it. I actually
you cut it.
I cut it because the guy, it was just too much going on, and they gave me a hard time with my single. Memphis.
Okay. Were they trying to control you a little too much on that? A little hands on. He's like, wait a minute, no.
Yeah, you got to be careful, man, messing with the industry and stuff like that, man. But the guy I was working with, he was a good guy. He's a good guy. I don't take that from him. He's a good guy, man. But the people that he was under and working for me was shabby. They was making some real bitter moves concerning that single, because that single Memphis is powerful.
Yeah,
it is powerful, and it's game changing, which is working now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you about. But yeah, long story short, that was cut. It didn't work out, and I'm glad it didn't work out. I let that go, man, and right when I let it go, by faith, it's like God was waiting on me to let it go. See, was I just gonna hold on because it's Sony gonna try to keep on to it when he told me bag up? So I bagged up off of it. I say like a couple of weeks later, I got offered a major distribution deal.
Okay.
From Tiffany Gaines.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yes, Tiffany Gaines, SS Global. Had the #1 distribution platform in the world.
Wow.
With Universal in Grooves.
Okay.
Universal Music. She is the vice president of she's the vice president of Hush Media Networks. And Hush Media Network, who does the Breakfast Club, Steve Harvey Show.
Oh, no kidding.
They're a major media network. And she's the chief operating officer of Amada Records.
Wow.
And she is the manager of Freeway Rick Ross.
No way.
Yes. So
nice.
So
okay.
she just got on she just sealed the deal. So she's a part of the Forbes team now.
Oh snap. That's cool.
Yeah, so that's my PR now.
No way.
Yes, and I'm distributed through her company.
Cool. Congratulations on that, man.
God is good.
That's awesome.
So big checks gonna be coming. And I own 100% of my royalties. I own 100% of my publishing.
No kidding.
It's just a 70-30 split.
You got the 70, she got the 30?
Yep.
About to say, I was like,
Sales.
my boy, not on the losing end.
I ain't losing
on the short side.
But she's a great person, and I'm very sure that the person that she is, that she wouldn't lose. It takes a lot to get that deal.
Yeah.
But she heard my music. And she said she felt generous. She got the check mark by her name, so it came down my page instantly. Mm-hmm. And she was like, she felt generous. She want to offer somebody a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And thousands of people dropped they links, dropped music, dropped stuff, man. I just was like, I'm going to drop mine. So I dropped it. She went through everything, I suppose. But she came back to me after the time was up. She spoke to me. She specifically said, it is past the time that I was taking submissions, but I went ahead and listened to your music.
Oh, no
and
kidding.
I love what you're doing. I love your energy. I love your delivery, your lyrics, and I like the direction you're going. I want to get behind it. I have to offer you this deal.
That is awesome.
And ever since then, it's been up. Memphis actually dropped on my birthday. November 21st, I requested it, and they granted it.
Nice.
And yeah, man, it's up, man, and I have that distribution deal for a lifetime.
That's good.
So I will be
that.
offering artists features, and we'll drop through Universal so they can get bread with me.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So are y'all still living in the same place, or did y'all move, or?
Who? Me and my wife.
Yeah, you and your family.
Yeah, we was in a house. We actually lost our home.
No
we actually
kidding.
lost our home.
No
yes.
Kidding.
The landlord didn't want to accept the rent anymore, and the corona thing going on, people tripping with these places. So she wanted to sell the house, wasn't in a position to buy it, so we had to move, and we found that out 3 weeks after she put in a notice.
Okay.
So we had a week to move. So yeah, it hit us real hard.
A week to move.
Yeah. So right now, me and my family has been has been grinding, been going hard, man. God just been opening doors and favor. All while we're living in a hotel right now.
Okay.
But it's been cool, man. God
I guess
is
that's
good,
the Ritz-Carlton, right?
But man, it's been good, man. I can't complain, man. People will never know it, but whoever watching, y'all know right now. You know what I'm saying? We are making it, man. So this is a true story that, when y'all see me on the big stage in a nice house, y'all know where I came from. Right here, God is doing some amazing things, bro. Like for real,
Good.
I can't even front.
So let me ask you this then, moving forward here, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind and you want people to know you by? Like, for example, you've got like Michael Jackson, right? He gave us the moonwalk, and everybody's, they hail him as the king, right, of that moonwalk. And so what is it that you want when you move on to your next role, or maybe one day whenever you decide that, okay, I've made my millions and millions in music, and now I'm just gonna sit back and this is what I gave y'all, and this is the mark that I've made on this industry?
Yeah, the mark I want to make is I want to be the bridge.
Okay.
I want to be the bridge, that middleman.
Okay.
That middleman, that guy that gets in the lion's den.
I'm enjoying these references.
Yeah, I wanna be that guy simply because it's so much fear going around, and so many people have, are in fear of stepping out on faith, man, and really standing in the gap for those that's really hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And my heart goes out to the streets, the trap, and my heart goes out to the church.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people in the church that really came for the word. They really came for a message. They really came for healing. They really came for the truth. Because they was going through some stuff.
Right.
So my heart goes out, and I want to be that person in the middle, man, because I understand both sides.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to be that person in the middle, man, that shows that remove the walls that's in between the streets and the culture and the community and the body of Christ. I want to remove those walls. Right. So and bring forth a sense of understanding before we point fingers and label something.
Gotcha.
But besides just pointing like, oh, he the dope dealer, he's saying he going to hell, he's doing this, he doing that.
So you want to remove the stigma of, if you are a rap artist, then you must be a hell-bent sinner, kind of like he's a rap artist, so he must do drugs, he's a bad influence. So you want to show them you can be in this rap game and use it to glorify God and reach the streets, reach the youth, reach even the people older than you. So you're trying to remove that stigma and bridge that gap to be like, hey, we might be in the streets, but this is what we are doing.
And that's absolutely correct, bro. And however, it's even bigger than that. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to kill the whole sense of racism, because all of this is racism. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be honest, because it's not just black and white that's racism. Nah, we racist over a whole lot of different things. He got money and I don't. I got this and he don't. I'm tall, he's short. I'm big.
You call that wealthism?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. But it's just the differences. Mm-hmm. I want to kill the differences. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is, like, you may be the color, the world may say you is, and I may be the color world may say I am. Mm-hmm. But if I keep the color wall in the middle of us, I'd have never been here today. Right. I'd have never been able to hear your story. You never been able to hear my story. Right. Like, you may have went through something along your walk that I may need along my walk now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how to handle it, because I haven't dealt with that experience. Right. But you've been through it and came out of it. Right. But if I put color or whatever in between us, our differences in between us, I never get what I need. I just threw away my answer because of the difference. Okay. So I wanna kill. I just wanna kill the differences, man. I wanna tear down the walls and the barriers that's keeping us divided. And now we're dealing with a system that is trying their best to divide us. And I know Satan is all in the midst of this thing with the COVID, the social distancing, 6 feet apart. God says, woe to them that bring division amongst my people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the enemy is pushing for division. He got people beefing over the neighborhoods, rappers, and all these different things he's using to push division. Now we got to the point. Now, give me 6 feet. Now it's like a physical division going on. You know, it's a physical division going on in the spirit realm.
Yeah.
And if he keep us divided, if he keep us physically divided, that's gonna be like it's gonna be a whole nother level of division, of anger, of frustration, like in the people. You know what I'm saying? And us as people, we need love. We need comfort. We need those things. We desire, because we made in God's image and likeness.
Right.
You know, so we desire to be loved. We desire to be accepted. We desire to be, you know what I'm saying, embraced.
Right.
So if we not getting that, it's only a matter of time, man, for that thing boil up and erupt like a volcano.
Right.
And with all the things that they're pushing inside of the media now, in our minds, man, especially with the Dolph situation, that situation, man, they just took that and went crazy. They took the Soulja Boy beef, then they took the CMG beef, then they got people going shooting up here. You got people can't even say nothing about Dolph, and comedians can't even be funny about nothing. They mention Dolph, they gonna die. You know, it's like
it's almost like there's a hit out on everybody.
Yeah, and they know Memphis is a dominant city, and we are a powerful city, very spiritual city than any city in the entire world. Memphis has the strongest dominance of the spirit, and we got more churches in this city than anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact,
wow,
you know, so they are actually trying their best to, because it's something about this city that they are trying their best to attack our minds, trying their best to. It's so many leaders are being risen up. Activists is coming out of nowhere, stepping out of mind. They ran the whole city across they went back on some stuff they did back in the days when they used to rally, and you know what I'm saying, for freedom rights and things like that, man. Shout out to the boy that be doing it, man. My guy that be doing it. He real Frank Gotti that be doing it, man. He may not be the best at it. Y'all talk about him and what his flaws and all of that, man. But he took initiative to stand up for our community, man. And he wanted to put something, man, that I truly believe is going to be the answer. And if we really want to have a true war in this world, man, we got to fight spiritually.
So what you're saying is a call to action to wake up spiritually.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Saying we're distracted by the news media, playing the race card and playing, because all that social media is pumping out right now is stuff to get your click, your attention, to either get you super happy because a politician made such and such a decision, or super angry because a judge made such and such a decision. So you're calling it to go take your eyes off of the social media and put it on the fact that we as a city physically are very strong. Like if we bind together and take it off of who's white, who's black, who's Mexican, who's, Chinese, whatever it may be, because, generations just all up in this cell phone. So in other words, you're saying, hey, come out of that world, because there's your spirit and needs to be fed.
Get our eyes out of that and look at your brother next to you. See that man next to you every day that come out there. See how he doing. Check on your brother. Call somebody that you made a hurt, or they made a hurt you, and forgive them, or ask them for forgiveness. Like, work on something that's more purposeful in his life. You know what I'm saying? And this world got us all looking from one view. Like we all see the world from this one view.
Right. And of course, everything from that view is all pretty and perfect.
Yeah, and that's their third. They giving us a third eye. They are giving us a third eye. We actually have the spirit, the third eye on the inside of us. You know what I'm saying? But they are filling it in for us, and they got everybody seeing each other in this world and everything from one view. And that's not how it should be, because we all have a negative view. Like, I can reach over this table and squeeze your head towards mine, and I don't care how much I try to squeeze your head close to mine, we'll never see from the same view.
Right.
We will never see from the same view, and I have to respect that. I have to respect that. It may be something, like I said earlier, maybe some from your view that you see that I may not see.
Mm-hmm.
But if we keep the differences in between, I never know that.
Mm-hmm.
I never know it, man.
I just had this idea because basically off of what you're saying here, because everybody's, saying, look at your neighbor, help your neighbor out. What if, because we're in a day right now where skill set is really dominating, now more than ever, if you know how to work, to be a marketer, if you know how to be a house flipper, an investor, their skill sets, right? They're no longer go clock in 9 to 5. It's, do you know how to sell a car? Do you know how to sell anything, in general, period? Do you know how a podcast works? Skill sets. So, because I see a lot on Instagram of them like, feed this one, feed that one, feed that one. Well, what if, because the Bible even says, God says in his word, he says, the poor you will always have with you. The homeless, you'll always have them with you. And there's call-outs, Elon Musk and different people of like, hey, you could end world hunger by just donating $5 billion of your net worth. And I think that's a lazy cop-out for people that are like, well, you've got all this, wealth. But you see, the thing is like, somebody goes fishing and gives you a fish. Well, you're going to be hungry tomorrow.
Yep.
You can't end world hunger because you haven't helped these people. And so I think as a community, if we're really truly going to come together, I think a good idea would be to go, because right now it's like, so-and-so used to live over there at that street, and now, Steve Harvey, used to live in his car for 3 years, he had to just fight his way there. But what if the community could come together and go, okay, well, we're going to, I'm going to teach you how to cut the grass, and, I know a guy named, saying
Just like some Black Wall Street stuff right there,
dude,
man.
like, when the community comes together and actually combines their efforts and goes, because the young people, right? Let's admit it, the school system's failing. It's done failed. Every kid, whether you're black or white or somewhere in between there. So if the community comes together and they go, we got some entrepreneurs, we've got some investors, we got this person, we got that person. I know a guy named Mad Paper. Shout out Mad Paper, and he does. I think he still lives in Memphis. I don't know. He might have moved to Miami. But he's a real estate investor, a house flipper. Dude owns Rolls Royces. Him and his girl are riding around in a Ferrari. And I attended one of his classes where he taught people. And a lot of people on the internet is like, you need to do this. Like, they're trying to call out these super successful people and tell them what to do. I'm like, well, this person just came into your neighborhood, from your neighborhood just down the road. And he said, hey, all y'all come here, I'm going to teach you about real estate. And only 30 of you showed up. So in that case, it's like, well, what other skill sets do we have in the area? Because if you're teaching a 30-person class on real estate, which he's not getting paid to do because he's already got money, well, surely there's a lawn care service. Young people need to quit depending on someone to come save them. Take the initiative and go out and go, I want to be a gospel rap artist. Who do I know? They need to find out what you want to do, even if you're not sure, because sometimes, who was it? Not Millionaire Stunner, your boy there. D Mercy, that's right, D Mercy. His backup dancer there, is that his nephew, I think it is?
Not his, I think there was a friend of his, a supporter's son.
Okay, so whoever that little kid was, right? Like, he said he liked to dance, but you should have seen behind the scenes. He was all over my tech gear, right? He wanted to really dive into it. I let him know. I was like, hey, man, maybe we could get him involved in the camera work, because you go into one industry and you figure out, oh, man, I'd like to be the camera guy behind the scenes. This is a nice skill. So I've learned that as a camera guy, getting into different industries, talking to promoters and rap artists and business people, you get a sense of what their world is like.
Absolutely.
So I think that, unless you are making straight A's in school and you are on the top of that list, you are going somewhere, right? You're going to be a heart surgeon. You're going to, whatever. If you are going to make straight F's, you better be sitting on a bunch of skill and a pile of cash.
Facts.
Because go out as a young person. If you're 10 years old, go out in your neighborhood and take a survey. Take a poll, if you will. Go see what kind of people are in your neighborhood. if there are people, if your neighborhood is full of straight up drug dealers, you may have to walk down a couple blocks. You know, you may have to do what it takes because the community is there. You may have some great people on your literal street. And if you don't go out and seek that and go, hey, let me cut your yard, or hey, you know, my name is so-and-so. What do you do for a living? You know, oh, well, you know, I run my own business. How do you do that? Well, here's how I do that. Then you have a business, you know, well, here's my ideas. And so then they don't pay you. You just acquire that skill. Because if you start at 10, 15, 16 years old and you start acquiring a business mindset, the money's going to flow because you're going to know how that happens. You know, thinking back to the different people I've worked for, I used to work for an Allstate agent. I wish that back in the day, I wish that I could have just worked for him for free. Like, whatever it took. I mean, he paid me good, but it put me in a mindset of I need to work these hours in order to keep getting this paycheck instead of going, what is his mind? How is he thinking about this? Because he lives nice, he got a nice house, got a nice car. I want that. And my mindset was wrong. So if you're 10 years old, observe, you have these secular artists, you know, that they're millionaires on paper. They're doing $1 million deals, right? And only a few of them are actually millionaires after taxes and after everything comes out. And so, because they grew up in the streets, they grew up with nothing. If you start with nothing and you end with nothing, that was your choice. Yes. Starting with it isn't. If you're born into poverty, that's not your fault. If you end there, that is. You know, drop that bottle of alcohol. Drop. Because a lot of the person that invented the TV said his kids will never watch it. He would not allow it. You know, so if you are a cigarette smoker, if you're a cigar smoker, if you're a champagne drinker, don't do it for the pleasure of it anymore. Do it. Start a YouTube channel. Be like a Gary Vaynerchuk. Start that YouTube channel and start teaching people about it. Teach yourself about it. Go work for a dispensary for free. Get in that element. And it's like, for me, when I was really wanting to know what I wanted to do in the church, I involved myself in, I think, 7 different ministries. And I narrowed it down to one, you know, just being an usher. So protecting people, I like that idea. Yes. So you need to involve yourself as a young person, you know. Like, you can't blame the streets. You know, the streets around you may be bad, you know, but you've got to figure out, okay, how am I going to make it out? You got to take that initiative. That's right. So, you know, if you know the best kind of cigars, the best kind of champagne, if you have a business idea, go forward with that. And really point out, let me make this point clear, is that many, many times your family members, those that think that they know you the best, will not support you. It'll come from the stranger. You know? Because for me, I'm just like, you know, I want to do all these things. And, you know, a lot of people, like in my church, you know, they're just like, I love when people ask me about tech because I've spent 5 years in it. You know, I'm like, yes. But
we can talk about that.
You know, so, but dedicate that, because if you start early and you really develop, get laser vision, because one day, you know, like, if you're in the streets, you know, your parents could be gone soon, you know, because somebody down the road, you know, don't care, pop, gone, or it's a stray bullet, you know. So by the time you're 18, you can seriously set yourself up for some success. Like for me with MK, like I needed a mentor. I wanted somebody, like he was hiring me to come on board with him to go work clubs and stuff like that. And I told him one time, I said, dude, I would have come work for free because, you know, I'm working with you. I want to learn, because he can edit like a boss. He is a great cinematographer, photographer. He was getting me in the door in a lot of places. And I was just like, you know, and I was straight up very, very honest with him. I was like, I want a friendship. I want a place to hang out, and I want a mentor. And straight from there, I mean, our friendship's been solid. Lit. You know, when he got signed to the camera label, Wicked Films, I was so excited for him. I was like, man, you deserve that. Yes, because I can remember staying out much more super late at night shooting these artists. I've only got one artist that she still works with me. I increased the price on her 3 times, never complained, never once batted an eye, paid, and came back for more.
Mm.
Most of the other artists, they would give you the hardest time, over $200 to shoot a music video. I was like, but his persistence and just staying with it, I was like, I need this. So if I could leave something for somebody, and going off of your call out for action, it'd be wake up spiritually, wake up physically. When you wake up, take that shower, get your business clothes on, and go out there and start working. Even if you're 10 years old, if you're failing out of class, get some cash under that mattress. Get some money generated, because then you're able to help your mom. You're able to help other business people. Like for me, whenever I come into money, or whenever I have a little bit, I like to invest it in people that are, coming to me saying, hey, this is what I want to do and I want to use you. Okay, well, here you go. Boom. I'm going to help you. And, for the people that are, one day are hopefully, not going to try to leech off me, but I'm sure I'll have a few of them that'll be like, well, I believed in you, just give me 50,000. What'd you do for 50,000? You didn't do nothing. You didn't learn what I learned. You didn't go to these clubs like I went to. You didn't learn all this stuff. You didn't spend hours learning how to edit and all the software and the different things. Like, you didn't earn it. Sure, I will give you 50,000, but you better give me a game plan. Exactly. You got a business? You got something for me? Like, because I want to know.
That's how true investors are.
I want 50 grand plus interest back on that. Like, have something for me. I support. I told that one time to a realtor, and I only charged him like $50 for photos because I went and shot it with my iPhone, right? So my setup was not impressive. I was like, I just wanted my foot in the door. A year and a half later, he comes back to me. He goes, hey, I have a 3,000 square foot listing. What do you charge me? I said $200. He cussed me out for like a minute. He's like, I was the first one to believe in you, yada yada. I'm like, these people will use whatever they can to get. So I was like, all right. So I gave it to him for 150. This man pulls up in a Tesla in a nice suit. I'm thinking, why on earth would you try to rip me off for this?
Wow.
Like, you say you believe in me and you think it's grounds for a discount. Like, I should have tripled it on you.
Absolutely.
Like,
pulled up in a Tesla, man.
Like, seriously, like, for real.
What would you say? He was clean too. He had
he was clean. But I got other realtor friends that are out there, and they're great. And they're wonderful people. My sister's a realtor, and so she's selling some listings right now that are in the multiple millions. Man, she's fixing to make it good, and very, very smart. 22 years old.
Awesome.
Working hard. Wow. Hard. Shout out, Rebecca.
Shout out.
So it's one of those things where
making them bands.
Don't allow yourself to be lazy.
That's right.
Don't accept mediocrity from yourself.
That's right.
So if you are looking to get into the tech world, the rap world, hit one of us up, man. Because we got some skills. We know some people. We know some people that know some people that know some people. So
for real.
Before we dip on out of here, what is some words of encouragement that you want to leave with really anybody, but a specific target on the younger generation?
Oh man, I have so much to say to the babies, man, because I have children of my own. You know what I'm saying? But I would say more than anything, y'all, whatever it is, whatever dreams. I forgot what comedian said this. Whatever dream, Cat Williams, whatever dreams you got going on in your mind. He said the other words to go with it, but you know how Cat do. But whatever dreams, vision, whatever you do. Whatever you like to do, something that you enjoy doing, I would tell you, don't let no one tell you can't accomplish it. Don't let no one tell you that you're not worthy of it. I'm telling you, you have that idea. You have the idea simply because that's something that's in the inside of you. It's a great possibility. The idea came from potential, so I would just keep you encouraged. Look, stay encouraged. Stay motivated. Do everything you can. Take all the necessary steps that you need to take to get to that point. I guarantee you, if you keep going, you're going to make it. like if I walk to this camera, eventually I'm gonna get there if I keep walking to the camera.
Yep.
You know, so it's the same thing with life, man. So I would just say keep going, keep pushing.
Don't be afraid to fail.
Please don't be afraid to fail, because actually failures actually be the greatest things that happen to you.
Don't go safely to death.
Yeah, those one of the man, that's dangerous. That's scary right there.
Hey, if
it comes too easy, that's scary.
If people truly are fans of Young Dolph, we're fans of Young Dolph. What I have researched and learned about that man, he was an entrepreneur, and he always believed in his community.
Yes.
And wanted to enable every generation.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, which is never to be humble, you know, if he inspires you, that means he has inspired you to get off of your butt.
Yes.
And do
make
it.
some moves.
You know how many times that man must have heard the word no?
Yeah, because I mean, the person that he is, the things that he do, I know he got a lot of no's. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a step out on faith type of person. Just like me, I get a lot of no's. I don't care. That's not going to stop me from doing it. Some of the no's don't even be good no's. It be like some of them no's that if some people, man, it'll tear your soul out your body. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you made me feel like this wasn't even for me no more. Like, I don't have a chance. Like, I'm as low as, like, people will literally, like, the enemy don't have no perspective person, man. And he will use anybody to keep you, man, from being encouraged. Because what he wants you to do is to walk in fear. He wants to take away your faith from you. That's his whole objective. He don't care nothing about you in church shouting, preaching, ordained apostle, evangelist. He don't care nothing about none of that, man. You can be around here preaching the Bible on every corner in the city of Memphis every day. He don't care nothing about that, man. But if he can get you from believing and have faith, he cool. He cool, man. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say more than anything, stay encouraged, because the world, everything around you says the total opposite of what God wants you to do. It says the total opposite of faith. Everything around you, even with the jobs, the commercial, everybody wake up every day. People wake up every day just fearing. They're afraid to lose their job. Is it gonna work out? Am I gonna lose my name? If my reputation gonna lose? Am I gonna make it today? Am I gonna have gas? If my car gonna crank up today? It's a lot of things we wake up in fear of. Right. But man, God want to take that out of you today.
So
man.
let me ask you this then. On the subject of fear, which is better, to be in fear and go for it anyways, or to let fear conquer you and to live in fear of fear?
Man, you ask good questions. I like you. Man. We need to do this a little more. But
fear
yeah,
that's stagnation.
That's for real. That's for real. But having fear and doing it, that's I wouldn't even say that's fear. I would say that's fear chasing you type of thing.
Ooh.
It's like fear chasing you, like you running in faith, but fear is chasing you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if fear is chasing you, you run in faith, you just that much.
Right.
You just that close of falling back into the fear zone.
Right.
Because you can run so long and get right there at that point before you get there and decide to fear.
Right.
And that fear gonna take you on back, and then you have to run that whole race again.
And on that point too, because if you're already, let's say we're talking to a kid in the projects, right? Maybe just not a kid, maybe just somebody out in the projects, right? They're already at rock bottom. And what you gonna be afraid of? You're already if you know how to live, if you know how to live in the dirt, going up is gonna be a challenge, because you're gonna have to learn some things. But if you experience a dip, you already know how to survive down here, so you're powerful. The person that is inheriting $300 million from their entrepreneur dad or whatever it may be, he doesn't know what it's like to live in the dirt, to start in the dirt, But if you live in fear, like, oh, I don't want to, I'm afraid to step out. What if you already in the project, son, sister? You already there. You have nothing to lose. Everything. It's like, for me, like 26 and a half years old, I haven't done anything with my life. I've stacked some cash. I was like, this is doing nothing. I've got nothing to show for my life. what's my plan? Like, you planning on moving out one day? I'm like, I ain't got the cash for it. I haven't done anything. I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to, take some, some risks. Because, if I default on everything, the worst thing that happens, something gets repoed, credit score gets damaged, but you can rebuild it.
Man, that really, really encouraged me, bro, what you just said, man, because
house repoed, house sold, you living in a hotel, like,
oh my God,
you already here. There's only a way up.
Oh my God. I have this manager now. My wife is I call her my supervisor manager.
Oh, snap.
My wife, she's a supervisor.
She having fun with that.
She's a supervisor manager. But my managing manager, he guy, man, very, very wealthy guy, man, well-connected guy. He's doing a lot of different things. He know a lot of people. He's working on sponsors for me for like that goes back to the question you was asking me where I see myself in the next 5 years, like beyond music. God showed me this before he started opening these doors and pulling these strings and sending over my story. But we working on sponsors. Dr. Phil, I'm working on there a couple of more days. I should be getting a word back about the interview with him. But I have a voiceover where he's actually shouting me out, telling people to support praise, support his ministry, to reach the lost and save the people, bring them back to
support
Jesus.
Praise.
That's crazy to have
Support
Dr. Phil say it, though. Yeah, so
hit my boy up on YouTube.
So yeah, he using his story and shooting him around to a lot of people like Nike, Adidas, a lot of major brand companies. Just about all of them. We going all the way down to Spalding, so it's a lot of different things going on. But the reason I said that encouraged me so much because I was just wondering, like, man, am I doing this right? Because I talked to him on the phone. He's real long-winded because he has a lot of information he want to give me and a lot of things to do. And he honestly feels like I should have been where I'm going. He feel like, man, you have too much. Your brand is so solid, man. You have a message, man. You are too dope, man. I'm glad I found you before somebody else did. Right. So he was like, so when we talking, this man talk numbers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally see myself in a couple of years as a half a million dollar artist. Man, period. I wouldn't even just say artist, as a $500,000 man. Probably more than that, depending on how things is working. Okay. But he talks numbers and he discussed the business with me. He discussed finances, a lot of things about your savings and how to categorize things, especially when it's nonprofit and when it is for profit.
You just feel like a genius when you're in that kind of meeting. I'm like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
My brain is like,
and I know I'm straight hood. I know how to account dope money. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you how to budget there, what to re-up with. You know what I'm saying, and how to flip and how to make a profit, but it kind of relates in the same way, but just talking the numbers that he was talking, it took my mind on a whole nother level. And some of the stuff I'm still like, I even humbled myself, said, okay, I'm still need your help as far as with this, because I don't know much about this, need your help setting this up and all of these different things. But just by me being there and listening and being in that place, you know what I'm saying, it showed me, man, that what you just said, you know what I'm saying, operating in that faith. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even though fear is still there present. Right. Fear is present. It's chasing me down. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I held the faith and I decided I'm going to do this.
In other words, your back was against the wall.
Yeah, I'm going to be a great businessman. I'm going to hold my account down. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do with my money. I ain't going to have the IRS.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You're like, this is what I'm responsible for.
That's right.
Here.
That's right. That's right.
And only a lazy person would just let it fizzle out. Because right now we're getting with, social media spiking up so high, they're these rap artists that, they're $10 million deal and they're like, oh, you got 10 million. No. Because they're coming out saying, a lot of these artists, they weren't taking their taxes out. They, blah, 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 blah. Who was it? J. Cole said something about, there's an artist that owed like 1.6 million because they just didn't, just because you got a $10 million contract doesn't mean you actually have a good team.
That's right. That's
you
right.
know, like you gotta know your stuff. Like, okay, if I'm in this state, I think in Mississippi that it's like 15% in federal income, and in Tennessee it's 10.
Yeah, true.
Right.
True.
So it's like, what state am I in? How much are my people making independently?
Yes, and that's so true. Like I'm at that point just talking to him. You know what I'm saying? When these checks and stuff start rolling in, because a lot of money finna start coming my way, a lot of shows finna start coming my way, a lot of different endorsements and sponsors finna start hitting me left to right. So when this money start coming, like, say for instance, I was just to get $1 million deal or something like that, like, I wouldn't spend a dime of it. Like, I mean, where he has me right now, I wouldn't spend a dime of this sort of money simply because this can really work for my great. But if I get ahead of myself and try to do it on my own, man, all that can come crashing down, man. Just that first money spent could dictate what's gonna happen to the rest of it.
Oh, absolutely.
So you have to be very, very careful, man, when it comes to finances.
Well, he's giving you that really important tool of making you aware of your financial situation.
Yes.
You know, because I feel like a lot of these artists, meaning this is not a fact. This is not a fact. I've never talked to these artists, but from their interviews and what they've told us about their world and their teams is that they've never actually considered what they're bringing in. You know, what are my finances? Who do I owe for what reason? You know, they're just getting millions and blowing 250 on a chain. You know, it's like $10 million, 200,000 of that's going to go to your manager. And if you don't know the ropes on finances, you know, what accounts are where, like yours is going, basically if he tried to screw you over, he couldn't do it because you'd be like, why is this account? Wait a minute, did you do this? I saw that you took, let's say $500,000 out. What did you spend that on? Now, because it's like, oh, I spent, you know, $500,000. It's all good, whatever, you know, because you know, Rick Ross, different people, they've said, you know, T-Pain has even been like, you know, I have $40 million. I went to go buy a house, and my team was like, you don't have any money. You're broke, and we didn't tell you about it because we didn't want you to quit paying us. So even his team wasn't good enough, quality enough to go, hey, you better stop spending because this is where your account's at. You know, he just thought that it was a bottomless, you know, stream. It's like you blew through $40 million, and your team wasn't good enough to say, hey, we're almost out of money. You need to get in this office and reevaluate some things here. You know, he didn't have one person. You know, he wasn't paying attention. He didn't have one person. So I think that when it comes to the finances and the money, he's showing you the most important part of that.
Yeah.
Because if he says, hey, you're going to make X amount right there, and you don't see X amount come in, hey, on Saturday at 2 p.m., you're going to see $2 million come into this account. Okay, Saturday, 2 p.m., you're going to be like, hey, where's the money? Oh, where's the money?
That's real.
Where is my money at? No,
yes.
Well, we spent it. Why did you spent my money? You spent $2 million. Under whose authority?
That's real.
Well, I didn't know. This is my money right here. Give it back to me. Whereas you see $2 million come in, boom. All right, cool. All right, what do we do with this money? What are we gonna do with it? Rick Ross, the boss, man. He's always like, all right, we live in lavish now. You know, I know where all my income's flowing and streaming to. He can trust his team. He knows what's up.
Yes.
Know what's up with your stream.
And that's why I want to give a big shout out to my brother Shane, man, because you know, before this stuff before it even get here, man, this brother is already, you know what I'm saying, protecting me. And before I even get it, he's already protecting me and my family. He want me to leave a legacy for my family. This man that is working behind me, he's amazing. He's well connected. But the thing about it is, he not going for me disrespecting my finances or my family. He can't work with me. He not going to work with me. And that's something that he vowed to do. He said, if I cross out my wife, my family, my kids, he can't work with me like that. He don't care what I'm doing because he wants to stand behind something solid. He want to see me do better. And if I hurt myself, he can't be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I just thank him for it, man. And the percentages going up, You know what I'm saying? At the amount, they makes a whole lot of sense. And when I say, man, I truly thank this man, for putting that, because what he gave me, man, is this guy, man, he charged people thousands of dollars just for consultation. You know, and
he's giving it to you,
he's just giving it to me. He sees my vision, man. There's a lot of people God put in my life, man, and see my vision, bro, that are powerful. Doug Bedford, shout out to Doug Bedford, man. You familiar with him?
I'm not.
Oh man, Doug, I thought you were familiar with Doug Bedford. But Doug Bedford is a great guy, man. He retired from the Navy.
Okay.
And he retired from Virgin Records.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, his artist was Andre 3000, 3 Stacks.
Okay.
Mariah Carey.
Oh snap.
And Madonna. Madonna was one of his artists.
Okay.
He did all of the
heavy hitters.
Yeah, heavy hitters.
Very heavy hitters.
Yeah, so it's like, man, this man literally, he gave up the industry because a lot of things were going on, you know, in the industry or whatever, but he seen my vision. And man, they got heard my testimony. I was invited over his house for a photo shoot. We were doing a movie, and the girl that did the movie crossed him out. Yeah, she took it. He made the movie cover. She took the movie cover and used it and left him alone. She was supposed to come and record the preview. The commercial. She went and took that idea that he gave her to somebody else to do it for cheaper. And put all of that stuff out, man. And he seen how innocent I was in that thing, so he reached out to me, just like and you know, God let certain things happen for a reason, man. A person's mistake, man. God can allow somebody mess somebody over and it'll bless you.
Right.
Because she had me in the midst of that, and I didn't even know, you know. So I'm in the midst of that. So he hit me up, man, and I remember telling him my testimony when I was at the photo shoot. What was going on? I gave my information, man. Dude hit me up like 4 months later, asked me, did I accomplish that vision? And I was like, nah, who is you? Because he had a weird profile picture. He had this military dude with the steel on the thing.
Yeah.
Helicopters in the back. I was like, who are you? And he was like, I'm such and such. And then I went through, I was like, oh, you know. And he was like, man, I'm going to help you build your vision. I'm going to help you bring that vision to life. When I get through, your brand is going to be iconic. Your image is going to be iconic. You will be able to, businesses will want to do business with you. And he
building
did,
that name,
he
building
did
that
it,
brand.
man. That man did it. Dude have movie quality. Dude is a extravagant, videographer, content artist, whatever they do.
Right.
But he does the whole 9 y'all website development. He do the whole shebang.
Right.
And he did everything for me, and still to this day, dude don't charge me. Dude do anything I need for him. Like, that's just favor. And to have this dude on my team, that's like having an industry expert elite working for you. You know what I'm saying? So he do anything for me. I don't even bother him no more. I rather grind and go out here, and he still be like, why you ain't hit me up about this such and such? And it's to the point now, man, where dude actually, he don't ask for nothing, to the point that dude gives to me. He gives to me, man. I see a situation or whatever, man. I tell him what I got going through or whatever, and he'll just out the blue just send me some of my cash app. Check your cash app. Here go $300. You know, and he's just a great guy. Does he give
you like
man.
an assignment of where to use that, or does he just
nah, he just said, this for your family, man. I'm just praying for you. Nah, he normally will send and be like, this for the overflow. In your life, that's his thing, and he's a very spiritual guy, man.
Hopefully, he doesn't make it like a.
He got a beautiful.
Call all of it back. Like, hey, I want all that back. Give me interest.
He got a beautiful family. I always tell him, man, when I get it, bro, I'm gonna bless you, man. When I get that chance to bless you, I'm gonna take care of you. He always tell me, man, don't worry about that. You talking about the wrong thing, you know. But he's a really great guy, man, and But that's just what I mean when God put the right people in your life, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't really just have to.
The art of not giving up.
Yeah, you don't give up, man, because he'll put the right people in your life, man. You just gotta, you know, stay consistent, stay true to who you are, you know.
Right. Well, we're gonna wrap this up here, guys. Thank you so much for listening in, watching this, and I hope that you guys have benefited in some way from this. If you guys have any questions, for Young Praise. Leave those in the comment section down below if you're motivated, inspired. If this has helped you in any way, shape, or form, I want you to share it. I don't think I have ever talked to another person for an hour and a half. But, man, we got down into this juice, man. And so that was some good stuff. If you want to connect with Young Praise, I will leave his handles for his Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, all in the description down below. Definitely a dope artist that you guys will want to get to know. And I look forward to the next time. We're going to make a part 2 about this, man, because I could have gone down so many rabbit trails, but the battery on this camera is telling me otherwise. So I appreciate you coming through.
Awesome,
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the Lion's Den. Hold up. All right, fam. Y'all be good. Peace.